Okie dokie. I'm live. At least that's what they're telling me I am. I'm live. I have my doubts, but this could all be just some sort of spectral thing that's going on. Anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, I actually have a list of stuff to talk about today. Now, you've got this problem with Iran over there, okay? But you forget there's other countries over there. And the Taliban has never gone away, okay, in Afghanistan. They have never left. They're not done causing trouble. And the thing about that country is you could nuke it and it wouldn't make any difference, unfortunately, because there's nothing left in that country but rubble. And people, of course, which you don't want to hurt. There are a lot of good people still left over there, but gotta tell you, you know what I'm saying? So anyhow, they're having a cross-border dispute, but it's not, a diplomatic one. It's guns and bombs and grenades and all that good stuff. That's how those people deal with that stuff over there, unfortunately. But the Taliban's been there for a long time, since we were there. They matured. They came around after we just, decided that we were going to help, and then the Taliban and that merged, and then you have the ISIS, and you have everybody else over there. Now, that's a strange situation that you have to deal with. I don't think I'm. I don't think I'm recording right now. I don't know. I can't tell. It says I am, but I don't have a timer visible, so I don't know how long I've been on. There's usually a timer up in the left-hand corner. I don't know. I don't want to do this. Fuck it. I got to start all over again. There's no way to stop this thing either. Oh, wait a minute. There it is. Why is it up there? I have no idea. Boy, they do some shit. Really, really, really surprises me sometimes. Okay. Anyhow, I am all right. Okay. All right. So what did we were talking about the Taliban and Pakistanians, and that's not many people really care about that stuff. But Pakistan is a nuclear country, so if I were you, I'd care about it. You know what I mean? You don't want nuclear. You don't want nuclear countries with uh, a history of violent personalities doing something when they don't want. That could affect the whole world, and that's kind of stuff affects the whole world. All right, moving right down the line again. That takes care of that one. Some guy uh, decided he wanted to get this robot vacuum cleaner he had, and he wanted it to work off his PlayStation remote. Why? I have no idea. But that's what he wanted. So he does this hack. And somehow, and I don't understand, he doesn't understand this, and I don't understand this. There's a microphone and a camera and some other stuff involved with this vacuum cleaner. And he ended up hacking 7,000 vacuum cleaners, robot vacuum cleaners. Now, I've never wanted one of those things, but my wife wants one, and we're going to get one this month. But this is probably because I got to do what she tells me, otherwise I got to move. You know what I mean? So anyhow, I don't understand any of this, how he did it, but he said that they reported it to the company, and the company says they fixed it, but they don't know how they fixed it. And then he's fairly certain they fixed it because he's not accessing them anymore. But he's hoping they just didn't block him, that they blocked also, that they actually fixed the problem. And he says, his big question, his very big question was, why is there a microphone and a remote and a robot vacuum cleaner? Does it need to talk to you? It's recording your voice though with the video, which I don't understand any of that. That's just got way beyond my IQ or my desire to know why. And then Hillary done finished her testimony yesterday in the Epstein thing that the government wanted to hear from, and she one came out and said that the way it's set up, it's very political, and she says she believes at some point in time they should have Trump in there, and these subpoenas and everything against ex-president and his wife, and if Bill answers all the questions and everything that are presented right, that's how. Then I believe that Trump should be what's the word? Not disposed. Well, yeah, he should be disposed of, but they should subpoena him and have him testify and answer the questions because he's obviously in some places, a couple places inside those Epstein papers and whatnot. And people say, no, no, he's such a good guy. He's a friggin' idiot. You know, he's got his hands in every. He went around saying that if you're famous or if you're rich, you can go do anything. They'll do anything They'll let you do anything you want. You can even grab them by the pussy. Now, I don't know too many girls. You'd have to have a whole lot of money, and it'd have to be put in her hand before some of the women I know would do that. But with Trump, I'm not sure there's enough money, to be quite honest, because he's just he's an 80-year-old slime. Who wants to get touched on their privates by an 80-year-old slime ball? You know, nobody wants me touching their privates anymore, which is kind of sad. But I don't have any money to give him either, which I understand. And I've never given money to a woman for sex in my life. Oh, wait a minute, I take it back. I did one night, coming out of a bar, skunked out of my mind. Yeah, I did. Yeah, what are you gonna do? But that's not. It's just not right. You know, I mean that he should be called in to testify to find out. To find out what's going on, and I don't know what he'll tell you. I mean, he's one who will probably take the fifth, but his attitude is that he doesn't have to respond to anything. He's got full immunity against criminal proceedings, but does he have immunity with Congress? I don't know that, you know, because you can't have somebody that can just go around and do whatever the hell he wants and doesn't have to worry about it. You know, I think they did put some sort of restrictions on it that he has to be doing something that's governmental or something if he commits a crime. I don't understand that. You know, they just, but that has to go. As soon as he's gone, they have to take that away. And if they don't, they're stupid because you'll only have somebody else doing the same thing. So, you know. And then there was this other thing here. The last item I had to talk about was I read that, you know, I don't know why they put this at the bottom of the front page on CNN that the ICE personnel are the least trained of any law enforcement agency out there. They're basically giving them vests, say ICE. Uh, if you got a gun, if you don't have a gun, we'll give you one. Here, go arrest some people for what you think they're doing is wrong. You know, and that's basically it. And that's why you have so many people getting forcibly detained, so many people having quote unquote accidents, uh, and a couple of people being shot because these people don't know what they're doing. And that shooting incident of the man on the ground, where a couple of people supposedly shot him, uh, that happens more than people want to admit. Uh, when a gun goes off, I forget the term. There's a term for it, but other people are going to do the same thing. It's that mob mentality. If you're in a group of people and all of a sudden they say run, you run. The worst thing you can do in a mob, especially if it's indoors, is yell fire. You can go to jail for a long time for that. It's actually really serious crime if you yell fire in a crowded building, you know. But that's similar to what happens in these situations. I told you the story. I don't remember the guy's name and everything. He was in a hallway in New York City, stopped by a group of police officers, and was shot 60 times, or 60 shots were fired. I think he got hit once because everybody just emptied their magazines, reloaded, and emptied their magazines. Stupid, you know. That's the disadvantage of the reason our law enforcement would have high capacity magazines now is because the criminals had them. And if they didn't make them and sell them in the United States, they wouldn't be as abundant as they are. Because as I've said this more than once, all right, the Marine Corps sniper philosophy is the best philosophy you can have. One shot, one kill. If you've got to shoot off a 50-round magazine to stop somebody, you're not aiming, you're pointing and hoping. You know? And pointing and hoping doesn't get the job done. Fully automatic weapons are difficult to control. You're not going to put 50 rounds in a bullseye unless you have a steady mounting of the weapon. You're not going to stand out there and do it. It's not going to happen. Um, just the recoil alone, because you don't understand something. Put a light in the barrel of a gun, all right, or above the barrel of a gun if you want to. Shine it on a target, that red dot, and squeeze the trigger and have somebody recording this on it fully automatic and see where that red light goes. Okay? Because the slightest movement at the point of the barrel gets extended and becomes greater and greater and greater the further the distance. And you can show that, you can demonstrate that. And nobody wants to understand that. People with automatic weapons are not trained, and even if they're trained, they know better. Basically what they're doing is they're putting up a wall of fire to escape the situation so that they can move and get out of there, because it doesn't work as it's a very ineffective weapon in terms of kill unless you're firing at see those weapons were all developed because of the Chinese during the Korean War, when the Chinese would send 1,000 troops after a platoon or something like that, and half the guys that were coming at them didn't have ammunition. you know, and so that's the way they control the situation. Because you could, if you're shooting at a wall of people, that's fine. That's the same thing that they did in World War II with BAR and 50 caliber, 30 caliber machine guns. That was just designed to take them down. But if you've ever seen the spread on a machine gun when they turn and fire that gun, that's a situation. It's a short barrel, and that deviation as you move it, the bullets are going just about anywhere, but you don't care because you've got a wall of people in front of you. You're probably going to hit a few, and you'll probably discourage a lot of others. But that's not, if you're in a if you're in an actual gunfight where people are hiding behind rocks and shooting at you, those things don't really work real well. You have to go back to the philosophy: one shot, one kill. And tell me, do you need a 50-round magazine to go hunt deer? Because if you do, somebody's going to shoot you, and you shouldn't be allowed to have a hunting license. Well, it's Friday, and I'm done for the day. I'll be back in a few minutes with my other video. Uh, don't know what I'm going to talk about there. We'll have to think about something. But that's it. Ciao, boys and girls. Where the hell is it? Where the hell do I end this thing now? Boy, this is not. I can't shut this damn thing off. Oh, there it is. Okay. Bye. All.